In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 MLB games happening on October 1st, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 MLB games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Tigers versus Houston Astros. With a dramatic close to their season, the Detroit Tigers clinched their first playoff appearance in 10 years, but their path forward is immediately tested as they face off against the Houston Astros, a team making its 8th consecutive postseason appearance. The Tigers, finishing the regular season with a record of 86-76 and placing second in the American League Central, surged in the final stretch, winning 10 of their last 13 games to claim the final wild card spot in the American League. Meanwhile, the Astros, with a record of 88-73, secured the American League West Division title for the 4th straight season and for the 7th time in the past 8 years, further solidifying their dominance in the league. In the regular season, the Astros took control of their head-to-head matchups with the Tigers, winning 2 of 3 games in each series to end with a 4-2 advantage. As Game 1 approaches, fans can anticipate an electrifying pitching duel. Framber Valdez has been a consistent force for the Astros, with the team posting a 19-9 record in games he has started. However, his tendency to quickly elevate his pitch count, even during strong performances, has been a point of concern. The Tigers would benefit from showing patience at the plate, hoping to capitalize on this opportunity to steal a win, particularly with their best pitcher on the mound. Tarik Skubal, who emerged as the Tigers' ace this season, delivered a Cy Young caliber campaign. Detroit responded strongly to his leadership, achieving a 21-10 record in games he started, including a 7-2 mark in his last 9 outings. While Skubal has been more dominant at home, he still managed to go 8-3 on the road with a 2.86 earned run average. Over the last 3 months of the season, he allowed 3 runs or fewer in all 7 of his road starts. Although the Astros boast a pedigree of postseason success and have consistently posed problems for opponents, this matchup of 2 elite pitchers creates an unpredictable scenario where either team could come out on top. Had the Tigers not been riding such an incredible wave of momentum into this series, it might have been easy to predict a Houston victory, given their clear advantages across the field. However, Detroit's late-season surge makes this far from a straightforward contest. While momentum alone won't secure the win for the Tigers, there is undoubtedly a heightened sense of energy and confidence in their clubhouse. As a result, the Astros, despite being the more accomplished team on paper, may find themselves as prime candidates for a Game 1 upset, especially if Detroit continues its current form. Though the Astros are better in most facets, it won't matter if the Tigers maintain their high level of play. The New York Yankees may be the most complete team in the American League, but the Tigers, led by Skubal, have become the team no one wants to face. Skubal's dominance has been undeniable, and with Detroit's offense firing on all cylinders in the second half of the season, the Tigers have the tools to pull off an upset. For this reason, the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. In their 6 regular season meetings, the Tigers and Astros were evenly split in terms of total runs, going 3-3 on the over-under. Their games averaged a combined 9.3 runs per contest, a number skewed by a 17-run game in June. Houston ended the regular season ranked 10th in runs scored per game with an average of 4.6, while Detroit ranked lower, tying for 19th with 4.21 runs per game. However, the most critical aspect of this postseason matchup is the starting pitching. Both teams are relying on their aces to give them an early advantage, and both Valdez and Skubal are expected to bring their best for as long as they can stay in the game. Skubal has allowed only 5 earned runs over his last 5 starts and has given up 1 run or fewer in 6 of his last 8 outings. Valdez has been just as sharp, allowing 5 earned runs in his last 5 starts and 1 run or fewer in 6 of his last 8. With both offenses likely to tighten up in this pivotal game, these 2 top-tier starters will have the opportunity to dominate. Additionally, both teams feature highly reliable bullpens, making late-game scoring opportunities scarce. The Astros have been a formidable opponent for American League teams over the past 8 years, but the Tigers are unlikely to be intimidated in this series. Skubal has proven to be a clutch performer, particularly when Detroit has needed him most, delivering consistent outings throughout the season. He has allowed 2 or fewer runs in 24 24 of his 31 starts this year, including 6 of his last 8. The Tigers will be hoping for one of those standout performances, especially given their struggles against left-handed pitchers this season. With both bullpens ranking in the top 8 in earned run average, extra scoring chances will be hard to come by, especially with well-rested relievers set to play a key role. Taking this into account, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas City Royals versus Baltimore Orioles. The Kansas City Royals will kick off their postseason run on the road this Tuesday, facing off against the Baltimore Orioles in the first game of a best-of-3 American League Wild Card Series. Kansas City finished their regular season with a respectable record of 86-76, securing second place in the American League Central, trailing the Cleveland Guardians by 6.5 games. The Royals had a solid finish to the season, going 4-2 over their last 6 games. On the other side, the Baltimore Orioles concluded their season at 91-71, which placed them second in the fiercely competitive American League East, just behind the New York Yankees. The Orioles come into this series with significant momentum, having swept the Minnesota Twins in their final series and winning 5 of their last 6 games. This matchup promises to be intriguing, as both teams had contrasting second halves of the season and wrapped up their regular season schedules on different notes. Kansas City posted a 28-22 record after the All-Star break, but their performance dipped toward the end, losing 3 of their final 5 games and stumbling through the last 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Baltimore went 30-33 after the break but finished strong with 4 wins in their last 5 games, appearing to have rediscovered their offensive rhythm. On the mound, Corbin Burnes and Cole Ragans are both capable of pitching deep into games, having combined for 43 quality starts during the season. Burnes has had more success against the Royals this year, boasting a 3.97 earned run average across 2 starts, while Ragans struggled against Baltimore, hosting a 7.88 earned run average in his 2 outings. Baltimore's lineup hit .253 against left-handed pitching this season, which could play a factor. However, with both teams fielding bullpens that have been less than stellar, ranked 24th and 20th in bullpen earned run average for Baltimore and Kansas City respectively, the game may hinge on the effectiveness of the relief corps. The Orioles bullpen features Seranthony Domings, who has the most dominant swing and miss capability, while Burnes will aim to hand the game off to a bullpen anchored by the righty-lefty combo of Yannier Cano and Danny Coulomb before reaching Domings. Heading into the series, the 2 teams are trending in different directions, but in a short 3-game series, anything can happen. Baltimore finished the regular season on a high note with 2 strong series wins against the Yankees and Twins, while Kansas City struggled down the stretch. Baltimore also has a slight edge when playing at home, holding a 44-37 record at Camden Yards this year, compared to Kansas City's 41-40 record on the road. Despite both starting pitchers having strong seasons, I give the advantage to Burnes and the Orioles, particularly given how inconsistent the Royals' offense has been lately. With that in mind, the Baltimore Orioles money line is our full game side pick. Kansas City starting pitcher Cole Ragans ended the season with a 3.14 earned run average, while Baltimore's starter Corbin Burnes posted a 2.92 earned run average. Notably, the total has gone under in 5 of Kansas City's last 6 games and in 6 of the last 7 road games for the Royals. While Baltimore's games have often seen the total go over this season, this matchup may be an exception. Given the strength of the starting pitchers, in a high-pressure playoff environment, hitters often experience more nerves than veteran pitchers, which could lead to a lower-scoring game. Both starting pitchers have been workhorses this season, combining for nearly 45 quality starts, and are expected to go deep into this game. While both teams rank in the top 10 in hitting in Major League Baseball, they have each struggled offensively in the second half of the season. Additionally, Kansas City's offense has been significantly more productive at home than on the road, with standout player Bobby Witt Jr. leading the way. The Orioles will likely focus on neutralizing Witt Jr., forcing other hitters to step up, which could be a challenge against Burnes, who brings considerable postseason experience. Given the strength of the starting pitching on both sides, expect a low-scoring affair in the opening game of the series. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Mets versus Milwaukee Brewers. The Major League Baseball wild card round kicks off on Tuesday with one of the National League matchups featuring the New York Mets taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. This is the first game of a best-of-3 series, meaning the series is currently tied 0-0 as both teams look to gain an early advantage. The Brewers finished the regular season on a strong note, winning 3 out of their last 4 home games. In contrast, the Mets struggled on the road, dropping 3 of their last 5 away matchups. Milwaukee's offense has been particularly potent at home, scoring a total of 22 runs over their last 4 games, while the Mets managed just 13 runs in their last 4 road outings. Offensively, the Brewers seem to have the upper hand heading into this game, having hit consistently well against the Mets throughout the season with a .256 batting average. Meanwhile, Mets starter Luis Severino has had his struggles recently, surrendering 10 earned runs over his last 3 starts. He's also had trouble on the road, giving up at least 3 runs in each of his last 3 road outings and going 0-1 in 3 starts against the Brewers this season. His lone start against Milwaukee this year was particularly rough, as he allowed 6 runs. The Mets bullpen is coming off a taxing stretch, giving up 6 runs in their last 2 games and possibly dealing with fatigue after playing a doubleheader on Monday. Given this, Milwaukee's offense may have an easier time capitalizing in this game. The Mets are likely to struggle on offense due to Brewers starter Freddie Peralta's dominant recent performances. Peralta has allowed only 4 earned runs across his last 3 starts and boasts a perfect 3-0 record against the Mets, yielding just 1 run in his previous 2 outings against them. Additionally, with Milwaukee's bullpen ranking second best in the league, they should be able to keep New York's offense at bay. The Brewers have had the benefit of resting since Sunday, meaning their bullpen should be fully recharged for this series. In contrast, the Mets have faced a grueling travel schedule, flying from Milwaukee to Atlanta and then back to Milwaukee for the start of this series. This extensive travel could put the Mets at a significant disadvantage. Additionally, the Brewers have been solid at home this season, finishing with a 47-34 record in their own ballpark. Milwaukee also dominated the head-to-head series against New York, winning 5 out of 6 games this season. Given the Brewers' rested bullpen, strong home field advantage, and the Mets' fatigue from both travel and a doubleheader, this seems like a tough spot for New York. Severino hasn't been sharp on the road, sporting a 5 earned run average and allowing a .255 batting average in 84.2 road innings, and his postseason track record is less than stellar. While Freddie Peralta's 4.01 earned run average at home isn't flawless, his .231 allowed batting average still suggests he's difficult to hit. Being well-rested, playing at home, and consistently profitable for bettors this season, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full-game side pick. In terms of scoring, both the Mets and Brewers have played under the total in 3 of their last 4 games. New York averaged 4.33 runs per game over their final 3 games of the regular season, but they will now face a starting pitcher who has allowed only 4 earned runs in his last 3 outings and 5 total runs in 3 career starts against the Mets. Additionally, the Brewers bullpen has maintained a stellar 3.11 earned run average over the course of the season. Given that the Mets only managed to score 17 total runs in 6 games against Milwaukee during the regular season, it seems unlikely that they will put up a significant number of runs in this matchup. The Brewers themselves averaged 4 runs per game over their final 3 regular season contests, and they also averaged 4.33 runs per game in their 6 meetings with the Mets this year. With this being a short series, Mets manager Carlos Mendoza will likely have a quick hook for Severino if he starts to struggle, possibly turning to some of his other starters in relief if needed. The trend of low-scoring games is further supported by the fact that 3 of the last 4 matchups between these 2 teams also went under the total. If Freddie Peralta is indeed starting for Milwaukee, expect him to deliver another strong outing. Peralta has a history of success against the Mets, holding their current roster to a slash line of .197 divided by .274 divided by .474 over 76 at-bats. The Brewers also hold a significant advantage when it comes to bullpen depth and performance, as their relief staff ranks 2nd in the MLB in earned run average and 3rd in WHIP. Considering these factors, it's likely to be a difficult game for the Mets offense, which averaged only 2.8 runs per game in their 6 head-to-head matchups with Milwaukee this year. Given that it's playoff baseball, where pitching and defense tend to tighten even further, we can expect the offenses to be even less productive than during the regular season. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Braves versus San Diego Padres. The Atlanta Braves are set to face off against the San Diego Padres in the opening game of the National League Wildcard Series on Tuesday evening. The Padres hold an edge, having won the season series 4-3 against the Braves. This matchup promises to be a thrilling contest between 2 competitive teams vying for postseason success. The Atlanta Braves had to battle until the very last game of the regular season to clinch their spot in the playoffs. Unfortunately, their schedule has put them at a significant disadvantage for this matchup. The Braves had to play a crucial doubleheader against the New York Mets on Monday to finalize their wildcard seeding, leaving them with little time to rest before traveling to San Diego later that night. Adding to their challenges, Atlanta has yet to officially announce their starting pitcher for Game 1, as Chris Sale is currently sidelined due to injury. The likely candidates to take the mound include Bryce Elder, Ian Anderson, or A.J. Smith-Shawver. However, this situation is far from ideal, especially with Elder struggling to a 6.52 earned run average and Smith-Shawver having limited experience, pitching only 4.1 innings for the Braves this season. On the other hand, the Padres have looked strong against Atlanta this year, finishing the season series with a 4-3 record. Padres pitcher Michael King has been outstanding, emerging as a dominant force on the mound with a stellar 1.57 earned run average in September, which includes impressive performances against strong teams like the Astros and Dodgers. The Braves find themselves in a less than ideal position as they enter this playoff game. After exhausting much of their pitching depth in Monday's doubleheader just to secure a postseason berth, they now face the prospect of going without Chris Sale. It's uncertain what the Braves' pitching rotation will look like in this crucial game. In contrast, the San Diego Padres come into the postseason on a hot streak, well-rested, and ready to capitalize on their favorable situation. Michael King has been in excellent form, allowing just 18 hits and 4 earned runs over his last 23 innings of work. This Padres team appears poised and ready, especially given the significant scheduling advantage they possess. All signs point to the Padres being the more prepared and rested team, giving them a clear edge in Game 1. As a result, the San Diego Padres money line is our full game side pick. Throughout the regular season, the Padres were able to contain the Braves' potent offense effectively. Atlanta only managed to average 3.1 runs per game against San Diego, and in 4 of their last 5 games, they've been held to 3 runs or fewer. On the pitching side, the Braves staff, including their bullpen, has been remarkably consistent, allowing 4 or fewer runs in 9 of their last 10 contests. The depth of the Braves' bullpen is a significant strength, as it ranks 3rd in Major League Baseball with a commendable 3.32 earned run average. Meanwhile, the Padres' offense has also struggled at times, being held to 4 or fewer runs in 5 of their last 6 home games. The recent trend heavily favors low-scoring affairs, with the under hitting in 8 of the Padres' last 10 games, alongside 1 push. Given these factors, it's reasonable to expect that runs will be hard to come by in the opening game of this series. Both teams have shown solid pitching performances and have had difficulty scoring in recent matchups. With the trend of low-scoring games, we believe that the total will fall below the projected number. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.